Hi, this is Sarah from Impact Data, and I'm here with the founder and managing director of Now Book It, Craig Joel. G'day, Craig.
How you going, Sarah?
Good, thank you. Thanks for joining us today on our partner chat. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Now Book It?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a former restaurateur myself. I was also the president of the Catering Institute for about 12 years, which was an industry body that supports staff and the restaurant community at large. And during that time, I was getting lots and lots of questions. I'd often sit in restaurant panels at conferences and the like, and I was getting lots of questions about all kinds of things and the pain points in the industry. But one of the pain points that kept coming up about 5-6 years ago was around reservation platforms and also how they work, what was happening to customers' data. And so I started doing a little bit of digging, and it made me realise that there was a pretty big opportunity there. So I grabbed a group of restaurant mates in a room with a whiteboard, some pizza, a bit of red wine. We sat around a table and literally we asked them what they wanted to see. And from there we created Now Book It. So the biggest difference with us, I guess, the other platforms is that we don't charge per reservation. We have a flat monthly fee. And probably more importantly, which is where we tie in with you quite effectively, is that we allow the restaurants to own the data exclusively. We never send an email to any of their customers, nor do we see our brand during the customer journey. So as a customer goes to make a booking at such and such a restaurant, they would never see Now Book It as a brand. So we're white labeled, which is one of the biggest benefits for the restaurant, but probably the biggest weakness for us because no one knows about it.
No one knows it's you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Fair
enough. That is one of the challenges. So how does your business work specifically with Impact Data? How do we connect?
Yeah, that's a good question. So quite literally every night, the data and all the information from each customer that makes an online reservation gets dumped into the Impact Data product, which allows them to obviously communicate with their guests in a more appropriate way and in quite a fast way as well. I mean, the very next day, the information is sitting in their Impact Data account with the ability for them to utilise it.
Well, that leads on to my next question is, what does that mean actually for our joint customers and how do they use that data that you've seen that you would suggest is a successful way to think about it, Craig?
Well, I can't think of any better situation than the situation we've just come into with COVID. I mean,
oh my God.
We had restaurants that were closing down that wanted to communicate with their customers regarding Mother's Day and gift cards. We also heard them wanting to talk to them about the takeaway options that they had. And our customers were very fortunate because they could go to Impact Data, they could they could send an email, compile an email very quickly and get that information out to their entire database of diners. Whereas if they're on another platform that wasn't collating that information for them or sharing that data, they wouldn't have had access to it. So that's probably the biggest thing. I think also on top of that is one of the biggest benefits with Impact Data is that we can profile guests on Now Book It that then flow into Impact Data, and then you can start utilising that. And that relationship, I think, is only going to grow, whereby in the future we're looking to be able to, let people know what champagne they've drunk or what Chardonnays and red wines they're drinking, and then, yeah, that's it, your hands up. So with that information, we'll be able to start saying, right, well, I want to send an email to all the people that drank Chardonnay or had a reservation where they spent over $200 per head or whatever the situation may be. But it is quite unique in that respect.
And that is so valuable. I mean, we've seen some examples during this lockdown with some of your clients, like Longchim in Sydney, who, I mean, great success, had connected their Now Book It to their TalkBox account some time ago. And then they started sending some SMSs about takeaway. And they've just had a phenomenal result in terms of success, because in our platform you can send an email basically via SMS, so they're linked straight to a beautiful display of their menu, and wow, the results were phenomenal. So I agree, making all of that data available in a way that is accessible to our restaurant partners has been a huge benefit, particularly now. Yeah, absolutely. So Craig, obviously it's the early in May now, and we're starting to hear whispers of social distancing in restaurants and the reality of restrictions starting to ease, what do you think that means for Now Book It and Impact Data customers, and how could we help them?
Well, I think at the moment is probably the key moment to be communicating with your guests. I mean, you're going to go through, a restaurant's going to go through many different phases over the next 2 months. And those phases are going to change at whim from the government as they have in the past. So you're going to have the ability very easily to communicate with your entire database as to all those different stages and elements. And more importantly, you're going to have the ability to do that very timely. So you're not going to have to download the data, load it into something. It's already there and it's sitting there. And with Impact Data, the thing I love about it is you've got all the templates that you can utilize, and there's information there that's really simple to use. So just getting those messages out very timely, I think, is the most important thing that venues can be doing in the future. And that's going to be changing as we know, probably very quickly and quite often.
And as you say, talking to your customers and taking them on the journey with you right now is critical. And one of the other things I'd suggest that restaurants think about is using this time to ask for reviews to increase your visibility. So if you ask for a review and you manage to get the customer to publish it on Google or TripAdvisor or wherever you want your reviews published, this is a really good way to keep your visibility and to keep top of mind and to keep attracting new customers. So that's something that both Now Book It and Impact Data can help you with. So by all means, reach out. So best way to contact you would be just at info@NowBookIt?
Yeah, probably actually the best way, Sarah, is if customers just went to our website, they just typed in Now Book It, they would find us. And there is a customer support line there, which is manned virtually 24/7. So they'll get someone to come through and any questions they have that they needed answered, someone will be there. One of the sales team or one of the customer service reps will be online.
Brilliant. Sounds like a really great service and something that everybody needs right now and well into the future. You know, maintaining that connection with your customer when they're not in the venue is probably more important than it's ever been.
It definitely is. I totally agree.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Craig. It was great to chat to you, and we'll put the details up on the video and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Good on you. No worries, Sarah. Thank you. Cheers.